Hello everyone and welcome to our Ask Me Anything session. My name is Jane and today I'm going to answer some questions that you've sent to our inbox. For those who just joined us, Daox is an open source protocol for conducting fair and safe token sales, based on the concept of decentralized autonomous organization. To learn more about our project, just go to our website, daox.org. And now let's get back to your questions. The first and the most spread one is, today almost every token loses half of its value then it's get listed on exchanges. What are you doing to prevent this for the Daox coin? Well, there are several things that I like to mention regarding this question. The DXC token bears a little resemblance to what you've seen out there on the market, and here is why. First of all, it has a completely new nature, the so-called ICO 2.0 token, which means that it's used in votings for the withdrawals of the raised funds. So obviously, if DXC token holders are not satisfied with the way a project unfolds, they won't approve such withdrawals. In an old-style ICOs, it doesn't matter whether a project is good or not, the team gets the funds and they don't need to care too much. Secondly, the major selling point of the DXC token is actually its uniqueness for crypto investors. Just use your common sense. When an ICO investor buys tokens of a project related to health, electricity, social networks, whatever, he usually has no intention to use it. The only intention he has is to sell this kind of tokens as soon as they get listed on exchanges. But the DXC token could already be used to participate in other projects that run on the Daox protocol. So, unlike the majority of investments where the only existing strategy is to sell a token on exchanges, many participants are purchasing the DXC token just because they want to use it. Thirdly, we have skipped the private sales. Therefore, there are simply no token holders who could buy DXCs with a huge discount. The reason why you see all the tokens go down on exchanges is just because many projects are offering up to 90% discount during their private sales. So the bottom line is that we've got no chance to have a short-term strategy, and the only way for us to keep the funds we are raising right now is to make the DXC token succeed. So don't lose the opportunity, and the product is already alive. There are more and more projects starting the sales using the Daox. We expect to hit a milestone of about 100 projects by the time we finish DXC sales. Next question. What is the long-term strategy for Daox? Where will you be in 1 year from now? Honestly said, we've got a meticulous plan for the next 2 years because obviously the long-term planning does not make any sense given the volatile market dynamics. The major goal for the year ahead is to make the Daox protocol become the main standard for ICO investments and the DXC token acceptable by almost every project that runs token sales using the Daox protocol. The truth is that public token sales volume drastically decreased over the last year, and Daox is here to fix it. Today, we are open for working closely with every ICO or crowdfunding project. We'll also launch our Daox Accelerator program to help promising projects conduct their token sales using the Daox protocol. And the feedback we get today makes us feel confident that the Daox protocol and the DXC token will earn widespread adoption among the crypto community. We'll also launch our own Daox blockchain that is kind of Ripple for investments, and DXC token holders will be able to convert ERC20 DXCs to the Daox blockchain. One of the most important milestones that we want to meet in 2019 is that startups will fundraise at least $200 million via the Daox network. Next question. How many DXC tokens will be created and how many of them were sold with discounts or given away for free during the airdrop? There's 20% of total tokens minted for the Daox core team, locked up for 3 years, and 10% for marketing and advisors. Therefore, if there would be about 30 million tokens sold, then the total amount minted would be around 40 million. All unsold tokens will be burned without any ability to mint more. As for the airdrop tokens, there's just few of them left by today, because many of the tokens were exchanged for participation in other projects that accept DXC. We think that by the end of the ICO, there will be no token that were airdropped at all. Moreover, there are DXC tokens that are already reside on the smart contracts of other projects that run token sales based on the Daox. The list of them you could see on our website daox.org in the Live Analytics section. As for the discounts, as it was mentioned earlier, we've skipped private sales, so there were no tokens sold with huge discounts. Next question. Why do you think ICOs will trust their funds to your platform? Well, ICO projects don't need to trust Daox. The Daox itself is neither an intermediary nor a custodian for the funds. The Daox is the protocol in which all the rules are stored. This protocol creates an Ethereum smart contract for each project. The funds are located on that smart contract. Neither Daox team nor any third parties can influence on it. It's completely decentralized. The source code of the Daox is open, and anyone can make sure that it's absolutely safe to use it. Now we've got up to 15 projects that already run their token sales using the Daox protocol, and this number is growing every week. Next question. Do you have scoring on your platform? We don't have any scoring and we don't advise on investments. Daox protocol is an Ethereum-based application and no one can restrain the use of it. We wanted to make it open for everyone. As for the Daox.network website, we preserve our right which product to list. However, if a project is not listed on our website, there are no limitations on the use of the protocol itself. The only difference is that we won't promote some projects across Daox community. Next question. How do you deal with 51% attack on your DAOs? Honestly said, it won't work. It's not a big deal for us, and here is why. Let's imagine that someone outside the project team will buy more than 50% of tokens to be able to control the DAO. This problem is solved by having the whitelist of withdrawal addresses. The funds that are stored in Daox DAOs could be transferred either to the predefined Ethereum addresses of the team behind the startup or to the token holders in case of the funds return. So even if an attacker buys up to 51%, the worst he could do is to keep declining the withdrawals proposed by the startup team. For that matter, there is a functionality that switches the DAO to the refund mode if no withdrawals were approved in a course of 2 months. Next question. If you don't charge a commission and you offer Daox for free, how do you make profits? Yeah, it's absolutely right that the Daox protocol is completely free, open source, and there is no commission. We believe that this is the only way to make it a widespread standard. We have multiple sources of income for the Daox network. We provide additional services on our platform, and we get equity and tokens in startups that participate in our accelerator. However, if some project won't resort to use such services, it won't limit its use of the protocol anyway. Next question. Will you run your own token sale on your protocol or it's still developing? Definitely yes. The Daox protocol is ready, and not only will we conduct our own token sales on it, but today there are more and more projects that start using it. So all the DXC token holders will be able to experience the benefits of the Daox protocol. Next question. I don't get how exactly I can get a refund if I participated in a token sale that run using Daox. Well, there are several ways that lets Daox-based DAOs to switch to the refund mode. I'll go through them one by one. The first and the simplest one is the soft cap. If the soft cap is not reached, all the funds will be automatically returned to the participants. The next one is the return, if the majority of investments voted for that. The voting could be created by any of token holders. In case it was successful, the DAO switches to the refund mode. In this case, you can just transfer your tokens to the address of that DAO and get the remaining funds back. Every Daox DAO will also switch to the refund mode if no withdrawals were approved in a course of 2 months. So again, it's really very easy. Just send the tokens back to the DAO of the project you've invested in and get the remaining funds back. This is the way how the Daox protocol refund works. That's it for today. Thanks for your attention. I hope I was really very useful for you. See you on next session.